Just a brief, anyone who knows about history, desperate human beings throughout history have committed what are called suicide attacks. Before 9/11, 75% of suicide attacks were by Tamil tigers who were Hindus. No one talked about Hinduism having anything to do with that, with the suicide attacks. And everyone, we have watched so many films of the Japanese suicide attacks on American ships at the end of Second World War. No one blamed their religion, because religion has nothing to do with, no religion has anything to do with terrorism. Almost all terrorism is connected to politics. It's political perceived injustices that produces desperate people. But constantly, and even now, we keep hearing about radical Islam. There is only one Islam, the Islam of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, which we follow. There is no other Islam. In human communities, majority are moderates, they are liberals, and on one side they are fanatics, everywhere. What about the white supremacists who walk into and kill 49 worshippers in New Zealand? What has that got to do with religion? So it's very important. This is the best forum. We must talk about it. Muslims must talk about separating terrorism with Islam. Yes, Muslim societies have fanatics, same as Christian societies, same as Jewish societies. And let's not forget that in India, extremists have taken over the country, racial extremists. So, number one, my point is that this has to be addressed. We keep hearing world leaders talk about radical Islam. It is causing, how is a man in the street in New York supposed to tell who's a radical Muslim and who's a moderate Muslim? Anyone tell? So all Muslims are branded, Muslims are branded as fanatics, terrorists. And whenever some sort of attack goes, a terrorist attack happens in the West, first thing, every Muslim starts worrying, I hope it's not a Muslim. Because immediately we are all branded. And I remember after 9/11, I get a phone call from this Western journalist, and he said, aren't you really ashamed of what has happened? There are 1.3 billion Muslims. Am I supposed to be ashamed of what anyone does, any Muslim does? So that's number one point. Second,